No, I dated a girl who was very into the Bowery Boys, so then I started listening to them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I listened to Central Park and a little bit on the Robert Moses.
Oh, can that be my name?
Yeah, of course.
No one's done Robert Moses?
No one's done Robert Moses.
Okay, I'm going to do Ben's podcast in a few weeks. It's going to be Robert Moses.
Let's just do it all right now and just completely make my podcast unnecessary.
Boy, did he hate blacks and Jews, folks.
Yes.
And he really...
And he was Jewish. Was he
Jewish?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's save that for self-hating Jew.
Yeah.
Well, one of many.
Yes.
All right, that's why we like him. Here we go.
Did we start?
yeah, I don't know. I hit record that. To me,
right,
that's
that
when
was
it
gold.
starts.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That might be the clip.
That's the
clip. It has nothing to do with the episode.
That's the clip. Just saying, Robert Moses was one of many self-hating Jews.
And we love him. All right, here we go.
You're your first Apple Hour pro Robert Moses.
This is the only pro Robert Moses podcast you'll find.
That's a guarantee.
Well,
that's a Apple Hour guarantee.
Some people would say Joe Rogan too, but I'm not sure.
I don't know if it's ever come up over thousands and thousands of hours. I don't know if
we'll have to do some deep. We'll use ChatGPT to see if Joe Rogan's ever brought up Robert Moses in a positive way.
But I will say Robert Moses, if we're doing history of New York, I was trying to think of the most, important or influential person in New York history in terms of what New York is today and everything you see around you.
Yes.
Robert Moses may be number one.
Okay. From a city infrastructure or city planning standpoint.
City planning, but it also just think about all the different Long Island too, like all the different places and how you get to places and.
Well, he designed the whole highway system.
That's why
How much do you want to get into Robert Moses now? I don't know that much. I don't know that much.
Okay. Yeah. Let's
say. But
we're beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I got my notes up. Okay. If you have your notes, I got my notes.
I don't have notes.
You have no notes?
I'm sorry.
You've been doing it for so long.
I think, you know what the thing is? So with my other podcast, not plugging it, I'm not...
Plug it.
Plug it?
Plug it.
Okay. Give me a name.
And also show your foot. People are demanding the feet.
Should I take my shoes off?
Nah, let them imagine.
Okay, I like
it. Let them
It's
imagine.
like an old burlesque dancer where they just take off the glove type thing.
Yeah, if you read the comments, they are furious. People are not showing their feet.
Who showed their feet recently?
Metcalf showed his foot once.
Well, I don't know if that guy's ever worn shoes. Yeah.
3,000 views.
3,000 views just for the feet?
I don't know if it's because of the feet.
Yeah.
But it's a hell of a coincidence.
Okay.
No one's searching Chris Metcalf.
Wait, are we saying, is it like a naked foot or is it
Yeah, he took his sock off and views skyrocketed.
Okay. Well, I'll see how the first 20 minutes of the episode
go. Let's
go.
feel this out.
I'm going to slowly start. The more desperate I get, these Nikes are coming off. What about Tobin? Feet?
Tobin, no feet.
But I did see that Tobin last episode. I guess it'll be the most recent episode after that. He went tank top.
So apparently Tobin's a tank guy now.
Oh, okay.
And he specifically said a beater guy, which you could do with that information what you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just took his shirt off when he walked into the apartment and he yelled, "I'm a beater guy now."
Oh, and I'm here with my fucking little green sweater.
Yeah, you look like a fucking nerd, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What's happening with our friends?
Yeah.
Tobin's a beater guy. Mancusi's 35, starts wearing a gold chain. Mancusi,
Bramante started wearing the chain.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
You know what I think it is? He has a bit about the chain. I feel like he's committing to it just for one joke. Just because he can't.
24/7?
I mean, some people get married just for the jokes. I mean, I think it's probably...
Okay, fair point.
I think a chain, is...
And this is not reflective of Ben's engagement.
No, Rachel, come on. No.
She's not that funny. Come on. All right, folks, so this is what we're doing today.
Yeah.
We have Ben Kirschenbaum.
We're starting with ruining my engagement.
We're going to start off with talking about how great Robert Moses is. And then we're going to shit on Rachel. And now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the pod.
Yep.
So what I thought would be fun is have unofficial historian.
Ooh.
Would you call yourself that?
No. That's I'm going to say a lot of... I'm not an expert.
He's not an expert.
Yeah.
Not an expert, but spends a lot of time... Yes. Learning about history, at least.
That's fair. Yes.
Ben Kirschenbaum. So the topic is, I told you, and I felt like I wasn't clear enough to you. with what I want, with what I was going to do.
Okay.
Because I said, let's do a podcast about early New York.
Oh, I thought New York history in general, but early New York, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like really focused on the Dutch.
Okay, really early.
Yeah, like the first 100 years.
Okay.
And not the first 100 years of New York, like 1860 to 1960.
Right. Let's talk about pelts for 45 minutes.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of pelts.
Ben, it's a lot about pelts.
Yeah.
Pelts, has anything lost its value more than pelts?
Ooh, I mean, you used to be able to buy Manhattan with them.
You used to be able to buy people with beaver skin.
Yeah.
And now you can't buy beaver skin or people.
Yeah. Lots changed. But still look nice.
We got TikTok. Which is nice.
So we're doing early. So we're doing, where do we start? Verrazano?
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I started with Henry Hudson.
Okay. I'll one up you. Verrazano even before Henry Hudson, named after the bridge is named after him. Excuse me, not the other way around.
Yes,
he's named after the bridge. It was this crazy thing. They had one of the longest bridges in the country, and he's like, "Hey, I gotta."
What are the odds of this?
It's tremendous.
It's like Lou Gehrig's disease of infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly. It's incredible. So I think Verrazano is even before Henry Hudson, and he's navigating right around where the bridge now is, like the Staten Island, Brooklyn type of area.
So maybe because you know this more than I do, because I have some facts here. But so Henry Hudson, as well as Verrazano, hired to explore this new area. Was that their job?
Yeah, I mean, you think they're also like plumbers? I don't know.
If you were to file a W-2 back then, and for occupation, would they put explorer?
I think they would put explorer, captain, maybe like captain.
Captain makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. What's today? You can't be an explorer. So what is it? Are you a scientist?
No,
or are you
a
captain?
Have very, very rich parents. Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's like more of a ayahuasca leader now. He's an explorer.
I think captain navigator. Yeah, that would be the official position.
Okay.
It's confusing to me because I don't know. Like Columbus, for example, he's obviously not on. 3 ships come over, right? And he's not on all of them. So
what's going on with that?
The big picture guy, I guess. He's saying.
Was he on any of them?
He was on. I think he was on the Santa Maria. I think.
Don't clip it.
This
Call
is
us
why,
in.
I might be off on that.
You think people that support Columbus know what boat he was on?
That support Columbus?
Yeah.
No, I just think it's very passionate.
Yeah.
Italian people
and a great Sopranos episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my big thing with these Okay, so finish your point about Verrazano. I'm sorry.
I just think Verrazano came a little bit before. He was kind of the first guy. I think he was Italian, but for the French, going for the French. Anyway, it's weird because they're not being supported by the country that they are from.
Very odd.
Yeah, which feels a little traitorous.
Right, and how did you get that? Why did your country say no, and why are they saying yes?
Yeah, it's a little suspicious.
How'd you get the meeting?
Yeah.
You didn't email back then. You didn't go on LinkedIn and hit them up.
Yeah, so Hudson is going for the Dutch, but he's English.
Yes, I think
he's English. Am I right about that?
But he went for the Dutch 100%.
Is he Dutch?
Call us in.
God damn it. This is going to happen a lot. I hope not.
It's good with this episode. I can look this all up.
All right. If Henry Hudson is English, I'm happy. If not...
English. You're right.
All right.
Yeah, one of these Democrat collars.
Oh, one of those. Yeah. He's wearing the accordion type thing. Yeah.
Died in Canada. That's
wow.
Well, okay. So we have that. So Verrazano.
Yeah, and now we're up to Henry Hudson. I think.
Now
that would
we're
be
up
the next major.
So Henry
guy.
Hudson came in 1609.
Great.
Through the Dutch East India Company.
Yeah.
So, and this is another thing I don't understand. So he basically comes here. Yeah. He notices that this is a fantastic inlet, and there's a river that goes all the way up to Albany.
Yeah.
He notices that goes great, turns around, goes back, and he's remembers this.
What do you mean remember?
How do they know the topography of an area?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess. Well, so Hudson's big thing was that he was going for the Northwest Passage, right? He was trying to get to Asia.
He was trying to get to India. Fucked up big time.
And then Yeah, but I guess there is a certain like genius for because like sometimes you underrate it and you're like, well, Hudson was just the first guy to go there. He didn't fucking invent the Hudson River. But you're right. Like it takes like a real like brilliance to be able to figure out where the hell to go and all that stuff.
To be like, oh, this is a river that goes up. It goes up? Like, how do you know what up is? Do they have compasses?
They got to have compasses.
They had the North Star.
They had the North Star.
They definitely had the North Star.
How early we talking?
Yeah. Well, was the North Star 1914?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Okay.
I think it was that and the Lusitania.
the Titanic actually crashed into the Northern Star.
I think that's right.
And
I think that's right.
That's why it
James
rose.
Cameron doesn't know shit.
You fucking idiot.
Did you see Avatar 2? No.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't see Avatar 1.
It's garbage.
Well,
not garbage. It's cool, but it's
got Edie Falco.
Wait, which one's got it? The second one's got Edie Falco?
The second one definitely has Edie Falco.
I don't think the first one does.
I can't comment on the first one, but the second one definitely has Edie Falco.
Edie Falco, but that's someone with such an iconic TV role that it's very hard for me to see her in anything else.
I actually worked with her.
I'm referring to
Kettering.
Nurse Jackie, of course.
A pivotal role in TV history.
What, is she in something else? Yeah.
What else she do? She couldn't have played an Italian woman. Which kind of is what Nurse Jackie is.
Okay.
Okay, so Hudson goes to the Dutch and was like, yo, there's mad shit going on over there.
Right.
And they're like, sick, dude, why'd we hire you again? And he was like, oh, to find India. They're like, that's right, you're fucking fired, dude.
Yeah.
But
Fair
then
enough.
they took that info and were like, we finna run a game in here.
Yeah.
So in 1625, they set up shop.
Yes.
Am
And
I
this
right?
is, now we're talking, this is if you're going to say the true founding of New York City, this is, I mean, it's called New Amsterdam, but this is it, 1625-ish.
Well, actually, I got a note on that.
Yeah.
New York City, with it, if you were to check the records of New York City,
Okay.
they say the official start of it was 1653 when it was still New Amsterdam, when they got their charter from the Dutch.
Oh, the charter. Okay. But they're
That's what they
starting
go
to
by.
come in, though, right? Around
The
16.
boys are coming in.
The boys are coming. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
boys
yeah.
are starting to come over.
Yeah, it's getting real. Yeah.
But the Pilgrims are already here.
Yeah, they beat us. Yeah.
Pilgrims are setting up shop in Boston.
Yeah.
But the boys, the Dutch, are setting up shop in New York.
Yeah, we got the Dutch.
Which, two completely different cultures, which I didn't really understand until I started doing research.
Well, the Pilgrims are just like religious. Why is the rejects was the word that came to mind? But yeah,
Religious rejects?
But I mean, that's what it is. Yeah,
sound like my dad talking about the Orthodox.
They're religious reject, which is also my favorite metal band. So they're escaping religious persecution. The Dutch, this is money.
Well, what I'm finding out as I'm doing this research is, so the Pilgrims come to America for religious freedom.
Right.
Right? But it's religious freedom for them.
Yeah.
They don't want anyone else to be in their community. They're like the original Amish.
Yeah.
They're like, we want our freedom, but we don't want to deal with anyone else.
There's a lot of that in in colonial history, for sure.
But apparently, and this is according to two podcasts I listened to, not with the Dutch.
Oh, okay.
They were more accepting.
Well, except for one guy.
Well, we're going to get into the
Yeah.
one guy.
Yeah.
But that's the Dutch philosophy.
Yeah, you know what's also a little similar to that? Roger Williams, who goes, this is much later, but just as a side note.
Didn't May go to Roger Williams College?
Yes, named after I guess he's considered the founder of Rhode Island. But that was also a state that was basically founded on religious freedom, as opposed to all these other people, like what you're mentioning, that are like escaped religious persecution, but just to be as xenophobic as
Right.
everyone else. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, and that is the American dream. Is
Yes.
it not?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what people come here for. Isn't it weird that they're like, we want freedom, and then they come here and they're like, we don't want to talk to Albanians.
Well, Albanians, I agree, but
Well.
in general,
We could.
sorry, I'm pro-Albanian.
I don't know what the gay foot fetish community thinks about Albanians, so I'm
About
going to not take a stance for you.
Okay. I'm agnostic on Albanians.
There we go.
All right.
So here's another fact. Okay, so New England, they're only speaking English, right?
Yeah.
In New Amsterdam, they got about 500 people. Officially, on paper, 18 languages being spoken.
Mm.
And if you include native and African people, it's like 26 to 28 languages.
Wow.
So already you see a difference.
Already melting pot.
Already melting pot.
Yeah.
Because of the Dutch. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I wonder if it was because I feel like the Netherlands. It's weird because all these countries are not as unified as we think of countries today. So it makes a lot of sense that, I mean, like, you know, the Holy Roman Empire, for example, it's a bunch of different people just kind of, you know, they claim that they have the same emperor or the same leader or whatever it is, but it's like there's no central authority. You can't. Right. When you don't have transportation and that's efficient and all this stuff.
But I guess maybe do like the Dutch. Do they have like different areas in Holland that they speak like slightly different?
Isn't that true even now? Isn't Holland like different, like 7 provinces? 7 might not be the right number, but like different areas.
I mean, Spain is, right? France has that a little bit.
Yeah.
So I guess do all those count as different languages?
Well, I think right. Spain has the
Catalan
in the northeast. Yeah. But I think that I think with the Dutch, I'm just saying that with the Dutch it makes sense. You got like a bunch of different that they're not all unified with like one language and all that stuff.
18's a lot for 500 people though.
Fair enough.
Right, which come on. They were fucking liars. But okay, so basically they set up shop in New Amsterdam because they were like, yo, we finna take this river all the way up that they called the North River. It wasn't the Hudson River yet. Mm-hmm. And the South River was the Delaware River. So basically they were like running that game. Mm-hmm. Delaware River to the Hudson River. Anything north of that was England. Anything south of that was England.
Okay.
And then Dutch ran the rest of the game. But they were like, we're going to take this because they saw the long game here. Yeah.
And we should also probably mention, like, it's a great question of why New York City, like, you know, why is New York City New York City? Like, why is this develop into the center of, you know, the stock exchange? Like, why did it become such a huge
I got some
city?
notes on that, yes.
Yeah. But I think I remember the main answer, or at least one of the main answers, is the harbor. Like, the harbor, just the shape of it in terms of being protective is just perfect. Like,
and you know that destroys the people of Boston.
Yeah,
harbor is their word.
That's their, they don't say it right.
No, they don't say it right. But boy, do they take pride in it.
But I think that, like, because I feel like it's a fair question to ask, like, why do certain cities, and obviously New York is the East Coast, and that makes sense because Europeans are coming over or whatever, but the New York harbor is like, if you just look at a map of it, it's that perfect, like, kind of thin, and then it expands nicely into, like, where the Statue of Liberty area is.
Yes. And that was not there when they first came here.
The Statue of Liberty?
The Statue of Liberty.
No, that's much later.
Right. Neither was Joe's Pizza.
Joe's Pizza. Well, the first one was there, but not all the offshoots. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, on Pearl Street.
Yeah.
That's right, I remember.
Statue of Liberty, just to jump ahead, gift from France, which is, imagine, times have changed. I don't think France would ever give us that nice of a fucking thing nowadays.
But also, like, do you think that was a gift or like a re-gift?
It was where did they hide?
Yeah, like someone else gave France the Statue of Liberty. They're like, what the fuck do we do with this? It's like, give it to America. Yeah. It's like, hey, thanks for inviting us. Here's this fucking statue.
Could be a re-gift. I thought you were going to go with it's an ironic gift. It's like a gift where it's like, you know, they've spent a lot of time.
It's like a gift when you give to someone you don't like, give their kid a gift with a lot of batteries.
Right. It's
like one of those. You're like, oh yeah, you just put it all together.
Yeah. Good luck maintaining this.
Yeah,
that shit's gonna rust.
That was 2 seconds. Yeah. That was the original Legos. Was the Statue of Liberty?
Oh yeah.
They're like, have fun with
the
it.
ass for the parents.
Right.
Yeah. Statue of Liberty though, like, of all the New York monuments, for me, I know this is probably a cliche answer, but it still kind of like gives me chills when I see it. Like, it's
really.
Because, like, the idea that immigrants come over and that's like the first thing they see, like, that's cool. I don't know.
See, mine is Stonewall Inn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I know every time I look at it, my dad would be very upset.
Right. I don't think he likes the whole neighborhood. To be
That whole street, what to tell you.
Okay.
It gives him equally as less pride as the Statue of Liberty gives him pride.
Right. They balance each other out.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
the New York difference, baby. Yin and yang. We're having fun.
Does your dad listen to the podcast?
Oh, yeah. He's
Oh,
going to
nice.
be, he'll
Okay.
text me when he hears that.
Perfect.
How many shows have you done at the,
Stonewall Inn?
not Stonewall, what's next to it?
Oh, Duplex.
Duplex.
I did a few shows when I was like just starting stand up actually.
Yeah, did you do the mic there?
One time I did the mic and the host of the mic was like hilarious.
Hilarious.
So funny.
Yes.
I don't know if he does stand up other than hosting
I think he just
that
does
mic.
that, yeah.
What a gem. What a hidden gem.
Yeah, boy, do they hate heterosexual white men.
Oh, I killed.
You killed?
I killed.
Yeah, well, maybe I shouldn't have said the F word. But well, the egg on my face. Huh?
No, it's not that. It's just that you said it too early in the set. You didn't gain. You got to gain trust.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just word economy.
Yeah, the very first thing you said was "What's up, F word?" You didn't even say a joke yet. Good to be here.
But what's funny is when I dropped the N word,
Yeah,
applause.
yeah. I mean, everyone. So it goes back to our thing. Everyone just, you're
It's the
one.
yin and yang.
Yeah.
My dad was at that show though. But
Your dad was at that
No,
show?
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Just protesting. Happened to be there.
And he was like, "Wait, what?" Okay. So,
All right, we're jumping. Sorry.
what are we doing? What are we talking about? Okay. Well, one thing, because you brought up the stock market.
Yeah.
The Dutch created capitalism,
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
That company, the Dutch East India Company.
but the whole culture is centered around entrepreneurship,
Yes.
which doesn't seem like a very Dutch thing. Because they kind of live off. Well, I mean, this is all of Europe, kind of living off the government now.
Yeah, that's interesting. But you're totally right. They were the uber capitalists yeah, definitely at this time.
And it was apparently because they sucked out they gained 50% of their land in the last 1,000 years because they sucked all the water away from the lowlands.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And then they built on top of that, which allowed oh, Ben, you're going to be the tulip guy. Rich, you're going to run a gay brothel. And it gave people different options.
I thought Tulip Guy was code for that. Sorry.
No, pretty profitable business. Yeah, that's good slang for a
Slang
gay
for a
prostitute,
gay
a tulip.
Yeah, send him over. That's a real chrysanthemum over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's the red light district, folks. But yeah, so it started all back then, and they're like, well, this is going to be my thing. And then they're the first people to also build a home. The concept of home was the Dutch.
Oh, okay.
We're losing more New Amsterdam history now than Dutch history.
Yeah, but their prime is right around this time, right? Because you also got a lot of great artists, 1600s Dutch.
Great time to be Dutch right now.
Yes, they were really hot at that time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the prime lasted that long, but they were hot. When they were hot, they were hot.
Right. Yeah, they were like Van Halen.
Like a Van Halen.
They're the Van Halen of
yeah,
Europe.
Dwight Gooden.
Oh, boy. They do like to smoke.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Dutch culture. I will also say, I think maybe I'm just being, so I'm going to preface this by saying I am Jewish, so please don't think that I'm being, what if I
We couldn't tell.
What if after that I just say something that has nothing to do with Jews? I should preface it by saying I am Jewish. The Dutch, actually, Holland is different from the Netherlands. What? Why did
Preface this, I am Jewish. I have a sharp out.
I believe that there was a lot of Jewish migration around this time, maybe a little bit after, but around this time in the 1600s to the Netherlands. So if you're asking about the entrepreneurial spirit, I think there might be a little Jewish
Very
influence.
interesting. Wait, where did the Jews go from blank to Europe?
I believe Spain, because of the Inquisition. So a lot of them went north, and the Inquisition. So yeah, it would have happened already by this point.
Okay.
The famous philosopher Spinoza was a Dutch Jew. And
Spinoza?
Yeah.
Sounds like some some guy that runs a pizzeria now. Spinoza was a Jew. That would really throw me off.
Yeah.
Come to Joey Spinoza's bar mitzvah. I'd
He
be
was
like,
a Jew.
what?
Yeah. Now it's just a shortstop for the Cardinals. But it's
Yeah, Spinoza. Yeah, what was the 1976 World Series MVP? That's a dumb joke. One thing, speaking of Jews in Holland.
they're going to say Hollywood.
Speaking about Jews in Holland, you know they run the weather?
I'm going to preface this by saying I am Jewish.
I'm going to preface this by saying Ben's Jewish. You know Jews run Hollywood?
I want people to know right now, for this episode and for all episodes following, I give Rich Apple carte blanche to talk about Jews in any way that I trust this man.
Let me tell you something, Ben. I don't need your permission. I've been saying this for 29 years. And has it gotten me in detention before? Maybe or may not.
Okay.
But the Dutch were the first, maybe not the first, but one of the first to have the concept of real estate. Mm-hmm. The natives didn't have that concept.
You're only improving my argument.
What, that you're Jewish?
No, that the Jews had maybe something to do with it.
No, that's what...
Yeah.
My joke here was going to be that, well, it's clear that Holland had to introduce real estate to the natives because the Orthodox didn't come here until, what, the 1800s?
Yes. Yeah. That's a fair point.
Because that brings us to the Dutch buying Manhattan, which apparently was like a yes or no.
Right. So the legend, correct me if I'm wrong, is that they bought it for like $20, like
$24.
$24. Yeah.
Yes. So apparently this is really what happened, that there was a contract between the Dutch and the natives. They're like, listen, we're going to live here together. We're going to work together on this. All right. But it's going to be a seasonal thing. So we're going to have our area, you have your area, and when your hunting time comes around, you stop by. When we need to go by your area, we stop by.
Okay, sounds civil.
And then for this agreement that they could co-live together, it was 60, whatever their bullshit currency is, guilders.
Okay.
60 guilders worth of goods, which sometime in the 18th century or 19th century, some historian was like, it's like $24.
How did they do that? I don't understand how they make the measurement with the money and all that stuff.
Just one guy was like, that's...
Yeah,
just off the top of my head, I think that's $24.
Yeah, it sounds like $24.
Like, oh, really? Okay. So that's why everyone says it.
Yeah.
Is that like, oh, they bought it for $24? Well, like,
kinda. Yeah.
Kind of. There was an agreement in place for $24.
Okay.
And even then, we don't know if it's worth $24.
Right.
They also gave them a bunch of knives and like goods that they thought they'd use.
Yeah.
But apparently what
they got robbed.
It was a fleece.
Yeah.
Like the Dutch still like won the deal.
Yeah.
And apparently what happened was, like this is a deal for a few decades. And as time's going on, the Indians are coming by and they're like, yo, can we stop by your house, have a glass of wine, sleep over the night? And the Dutch are like, I'm sick of this, dude.
Right.
Like, back the fuck off. The natives are like, I thought we had a deal. And they were like, dude, no, dude. And that's when Head Start button.
Yeah. Reason why Thanksgiving is not originated in New York.
Well, you're telling me the Pilgrims were better?
No, I assume Thanksgiving is bullshit, right?
It had to be bullshit.
I mean, maybe there was one moment where they had a meal that was nice. It's just not representative of what the actual relationship was.
Well, also, it's 2023.
Yeah.
People can't cook a turkey right now. Mm-hmm. You think they could back then?
Oh, yeah. Isn't that one of those things where it's like it was actually seafood? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, was it one of those?
I think it's one of those.
Where'd the turkey come in?
I don't know. That's a good question. I know, was it Lincoln? I believe Lincoln was the president who made Thanksgiving a national holiday. I think it was one of those things where he's like...
He did that and ended slavery?
It's two. This is a big two.
It's pretty good.
It's not bad. Deserves the monument.
Who would thought, like, today,
memorial.
You'd be like, oh, what are the first two things you do as a president? You'd be like, I'd probably end slavery and give people a day off in November.
Yeah.
And he was like, Why don't I fucking do this?
You're just a one-termer? You did all that?
Imagine if he wasn't got. Well, how many days off would we have if he wasn't shot?
I think that actually...
Be like Europe. Taking siestas.
I think the Thanksgiving... I'm sorry, I'm going on a million
random
tangents, but you could look it up. I think Lincoln made Thanksgiving, it might have had to do with Gettysburg or some sort of big battle where it was kind of a thing. I think it was like a day of remembrance originally that he somehow I think it's one of those holidays where the story just sort of builds over time as to what the holiday's actually about.
Like Christmas?
Yeah, I think it's a little like Christmas. Or maybe Thanksgiving already existed, like even in Washington times, but Lincoln's the one that just made it a national holiday
Well,
where he's
Canada
like, we've
has
been fighting a
Thanksgiving.
lot. Yeah.
So what's Canadian Thanksgiving?
Canadian Thanksgiving.
They have like goose or something?
Yeah.
They play hockey?
Yeah, that's
Instead
what
of football?
That's what it is. It's the big hockey.
Is that what that is?
I don't know.
Call us in if you know. Boxing Day?
Boxing Day. That's Canadian too, right?
Yeah. Well, it's British. These fucking people. What else do I have here? Another concept. I texted you about this. Slavery.
Yeah, I don't know much about Dutch slavery as opposed to like the other.
So apparently this is what happened. So the Dutch and Spain were in a war.
Okay.
So Spain was getting African slaves, and they were going to bring them to the Caribbean.
Okay.
But what the Dutch did was they would intercept the ships and bring those slaves to New Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
But here was the thing. You weren't looked at as like less than a person. You were a slave. You worked. But at a certain point, you could petition the city to give you freedom and be like, listen, I served time as a slave. Here's my case. I think I should be free.
Okay.
And people would be granted freedom. And whenever you were granted freedom, you were given 8 to 10 acres of land in modern-day Greenwich Village.
Wow. How much that's worth nowadays.
I know. It was like how California's trying to give reparations. About the same amount.
Yeah, and it was also like that was the whole the 40 acres and a mule thing, right? When they were
or was that after
slaves.
this? Was that around this?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. I'm just saying the idea that like if you're freeing slaves, that that's got to just be step one. The other step is that you got to need like land or something. Otherwise, you're just completely fucking them over all over again.
How'd you get the mule?
Oh, and a mule.
Aren't mules sterile? How'd you make a mule?
Well, mule's
a donkey.
The donkey fucks a horse, right?
The donkey or a horse fucks a...
I thought a horse
A
fucks
sheep?
a donkey. Maybe this is just my maybe just the porn I watch. No, I think
You go to Mexico and something happens?
I thought you're right. I think mules are sterile, but horse fucks a donkey to get a mule. But then
Are mules not donkeys?
I thought they're half donkey. I'm sorry.
you're full
I'm gonna. I'm full Jew. Okay. And I'm far from sterile. I'm creating a whole mishpah.
A mishpah. Jesus, I'd never even heard of that word.
Mishpah.
Well, what the fuck is that?
I think it's like a bunch of Jews. I don't know. A minion. I'm forming a minion.
A minion?
A minion. Okay, so a
Like
minion.
the movie?
I never made that connection. A minion for Jews is that you need 10 people, well, guys, traditionally, you need 10 men to pray. And that's called a minion.
Oh.
And how it's related to the film, I'm not, but I didn't even think of that. I don't think that there's an actual connection.
Well,
By the way, I should apologize, and this is too late to do it, but any fact checking and stuff like that, I didn't know we were focusing on early New York history. So
It's fine. No one really listens to this. They just watch it for the feed.
Or
So we
maybe-
can say whatever.
Or maybe, and by the way, after like 20 minutes,
And I do appreciate that. Thank
yeah,
you.
I put him up right after a brief lull in the conversation. I was like, well, I got it. Fucking.
we got to get him back somehow.
Yeah. But I think so. Apologizing in advance if I've said anything wrong. But maybe by saying some wrong facts, that gets the conversation going in the comments. This fucking guy.
It's going to be way more about the feet.
Oh,
You're going to
okay.
be shocked how little people comment. We could spend an hour just saying the F and N word.
Right.
People would still only comment about the feet.
Wow. The way you said that, it makes me feel like you've done that for an episode. That was
Episode 142.
Metcalf, I assume.
That one hasn't. It's not even out yet.
Oh, it's not.
This is 137.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about the Minions. They're definitely as nasally. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
This has become a real wild pod.
I take back the carte blanche thing that I said.
I told you I don't eat
ruined it within 10 minutes.
Okay, so now this is something I don't have a lot of notes on, but you wanted to bring him up.
Yeah.
Peter Stuyvesant.
So Peter Stuyvesant, famously Stuyvesant Town, downtown, and then the famous high school.
Stuyvesant High School.
Stuyvesant High School. So he's a big deal. I don't know what the name of his exact position was, but he was basically like the head of New Amsterdam.
He was basically assigned by the West Indies Company.
Right.
To run New Amsterdam.
And he did a lot of stuff in terms of like building stuff and expanding, I believe, the colony.
He was the Rudy Giuliani of New Amsterdam.
He was yes.
Started good, and then things
And
kind
then
of
somehow
took a
got
turn.
better. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, he held his last press conference outside of a landscaping company, which they thought was weird.
It was weird.
They thought they did their due diligence.
Actually, look it up. There might be some in that hair, some hair dye, and
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't
right.
be shocked.
He had a peg leg.
Stuyvesant had a peg leg?
Yeah, he had a wooden leg.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's a peg. How sophisticated could the wooden legs be back then?
Peg leg feels like a not woke term. I don't know why.
A peg leg?
Doesn't that feel like it's like something
It
that
does
someone
kinda yeah.
that feels like something someone would correct you on?
Yeah, I don't know what ethnicity that's supposed to
2023.
represent. Oh, he's a real peg leg.
I feel like that's
Jesus.
if someone were very, very woke, I feel like they would hear the word peg leg and just kind of be like, "Oh, you can't say that." Anymore.
Oh yeah, it's like asking for your coffee to be black.
I think it's even more random than that. That it makes a little more sense. Yeah, but I think the reason. So my beef with Stuyvesant, and I'll preface this by saying that I'm Jewish.
What?
Is that Stuyvesant was famously anti-Semitic. Was also just like in general very anti-religious freedom. So Jews fell into the category, but it was kind of just everyone that wasn't part of the Dutch church. Or whatever.
Jews and Quakers were his two big gripes.
Yeah.
Hated them both.
Yeah.
Can you blame him?
Hey, come on, Quakers aren't that bad.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing: Jews don't eat oatmeal.
Well,
They
why
both
not?
eat oatmeal.
Why would we not eat oatmeal?
I don't know.
Pig in oatmeal.
I'm really just grasping for straws here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to edit this.
Don't eat oatmeal. I was about to laugh along, just being like, oh yeah, that old
No,
saying.
if you were to say who are the two biggest ethnicities that eat oatmeal,
Yeah.
it's probably Jews and Quakers.
Well, Quakers for sure, unless don't get high on your own supply type thing.
That's true. They feel it.
I think they just fuck. They're just getting us all addicted to it. Jews eating a lot of oatmeal. Yeah, I feel like Jews eat a lot of oatmeal. Feels like
Cream of wheat.
Jews.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why I'm not leaning into the oatmeal thing is because we do famously breakfast is like our cuisine, and oatmeal's not really part of it, right? Bagels, lox, that whole thing.
Yeah. You do have a heavy presence in the brunch community.
Yeah,
Latkes,
latkes are great.
applesauce. Is applesauce Jewish?
I don't think applesauce is Jewish. Although,
I like it though.
Or I think it's everywhere, right? Applesauce has got to be. Everyone figured out applesauce.
I don't know. You have a latke, you put some applesauce on it, a little sour cream.
It's great.
I mean, is there anything better? I'm not a big side note.
Yeah.
Ben's Kosher Deli, I think is very overrated. Had
I
it
don't know if
recently.
I've ever been.
You've
How
never been?
about Katz's? You been to Katz's?
Never been to Katz's.
Katz's is great.
I gotta get to Katz's.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Even better than Katz's, Russ and Daughters.
That is very high on my list. I've never been.
Highly recommend.
That's the best. You're saying that's the best lox in the city?
Yes, that I've had.
My
Yes.
coworker said something bluegrass. Bobby Bluegrass.
Barney Greengrass.
Barney Greengrass. on the Upper West.
That actually famous for their latkes, but I don't know if you
Oh.
prefer God, I hope the feet are entertaining the audience right now. But I don't know if
This is surprisingly a big locks community also.
How do you mean?
I'm fucking around.
Okay. That felt like a slur.
wait.
That felt like a slur for Jews.
The locks community?
Yeah, we got a lot of fucking smoked salmons out there listening to this.
We got a lot of whitefish salad out
Yeah,
there. You know what
I'm saying? A lot of matzo ball soups tuning into this. I think that. What if I just reveal at the end of this episode that I'm not Jewish? Wait, Russ and Daughters. Oh, Barney Greengrass thing to know about the latkes. They're the more sort of thick kind. I'm actually more of a thin latke guy. Just warning. But the nice thing about Barney Greengrass when it comes to latkes is that like you sit down and immediately the waiter is just like you want latkes. I know you want latkes, and just kind of gives it to you.
I think he just says that to you.
It's like the guys on the Upper West Side. He might. That's a fair point. Yeah.
I think you and Rachel just sat down and he goes, "You guys want fucking latkes?"
He's like, "Take a latke, doctor."
They
Well,
don't
I'm
even
not a
clean-
doctor.
They ask you to go over the lease.
Yeah, they go, take it, doctor. No, I'm not a doctor. All right, well, whatever. Counselor, just take the fucking
Esquire. I don't know. Whatever you want.
No, actually, I'm a stand-up comedian. All right, that was my next guess. Yeah, just
All right, Jerry.
I got a joke for you.
Oh, we're having fun, folks. Okay, what do we have here? What else do I have that's interesting?
Are we up to the British? If we're up to Stuyvesant, we're probably
getting
up to the British.
Yeah, we're getting up to the... Anything more on Stuyvesant?
Religious stuff. I mean, it is, I don't know. I think that's it about Stuyvesant. But it is interesting that, like, people, it's true for American history in general, right? Where things are named after people and you just kind of go with it. But then you look it up and fucking baggage. A lot of baggage.
A lot of baggage.
Yeah.
This is one thing I thought. How ironic is it that Stuyvesant hated Jews and his high school, the most famous Jewish high school in the country?
That's true. Sticking it to him.
Yeah, that's right. We fucking did it, boys.
Yeah, that's exactly.
He hated Asians too. Boy, would he not be happy.
That is irony. Yeah.
Good badminton team, though. All right, here we go.
Badminton?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Some guy at my office, Stuyvesant High School badminton.
Okay.
Apparently a pretty good team. A lot of Asians now.
Man, you must talk to him a lot.
Nope.
Really?
Just saw the
He led
sweatshirt.
with it? Oh, okay.
Never even said a word to him.
Oh, okay.
Just wears the sweatshirt.
I was going to say, if he's bringing up his high school badminton team, you guys probably ran out of conversation.
Never
real
said
fast.
one thing to the guy. He just wears the sweatshirt a lot. Anyway, so this is basically what... So the English, they're like, okay, like, we want this fucking territory. It's in between our two shits. We're going to just take this over.
Yeah.
So what they did was they brought their warships and they chilled from around Governor's Island and Gravesend area, and they just parked their ships there, and they rowed out to New Amsterdam, and they're like, "Yo, like if you guys don't give up the city, we're gonna destroy it." Now they weren't gonna destroy it because they very much needed the infrastructure, but they just wanted to put their dick on the table. So basically, they start negotiating back and forth. And the people of New Amsterdam, they lost touch with Holland or the Netherlands. There's a difference?
Holland, Netherlands? I think Holland's in Netherlands.
Oh.
I think Netherlands is the bigger. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they lost touch with the motherland. So they were like, we don't give a fuck about them. So listen, if you just let us kind of do our own thing and let us run the city how we want, you could fucking put your stamp on our papers. Like, we don't give a fuck.
Okay.
And England was like, I was finna do it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't the Netherlands get it back for like a second? I think they got it back for like a year.
That wasn't covered in either podcast I listened to.
Never mind.
Okay. But it could.
I think they got it back. Okay, so I think like a little bit after Stuyvesant ceded it to the English, I think that the Netherlands got it back for like 9 months or something like that. And then officially it's England's, it's New York, named after the Duke of York. And, that's what we know today.
So this is what I have written down. They basically told Stuyvesant, like, dude, like, we're going to beat your ass. Like, just give us the city. So there was 93 of the biggest merchants and leaders of New Amsterdam got together, including Stuyvesant's own son, was a part of this. And they signed the Articles of Capitulation, where basically they said, we want to keep our culture, we want to keep how the city's run, but you could own it, and we'll be New York. Who
Put
gives
your
a
name
fuck?
on it. Yeah.
Right. And they were like, cool, dude. But Stuyvesant's son played a very large part of that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, ironic there. Anything else I wanted to...
I am curious about that. Can you go to that New York timeline thing real quick? I am curious if the Netherlands got it back for a second.
The New York... What do I got to type in? Just New York City...
New York City timeline. In any case, yeah, New York, Duke of York. I think I know... What are all the other things named after? Manhattan is a Native American word, and I think it's got kind of like a long definition. I forgot exactly what it means.
Or it also, I heard on one podcast, it could have been a Dutch term.
Oh, really? I thought it was... okay, maybe. I thought it was...
But all we have are Dutch records.
Uh-huh.
So we don't actually know what the truth is because we don't have any native records because they never wrote anything down.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought that was a Native American term.
No,
Bronx is named after a guy.
Bronx is named after a guy.
Some Swedish guy.
Yes. I actually have a couple things. But basically, so this gets to a few notes I took, that so all of the natives, there was no form of written language because they all spoke a different language. So there was no way for any of them to communicate with each other. So the way they started communicating was that the Dutch created wampum. Are you familiar with wampum?
No.
So that was the form of currency they decided to go with initially.
Oh, okay.
So basically you go out to Long Island, take a bunch of shells, polish them up to turn purple, put them on a string, and those strings were called hands of wampum. And whenever you made an agreement, you would give X amount of hands of wampum.
Clever.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
For a culture that was so homophobic, a pretty gay currency.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, but I mean, different time.
Different, right? Yeah, they wore stockings, handed each other pretty shells.
Yeah, you saw the scarf. Yeah, or whatever it's called, the ascot.
The ascot. What? So okay, we're looking for articles of capitulation.
So yeah, no. All I was saying is that I think that if you're looking in the 1600s, sorry, I know this is
the Dutch scene. The Dutch
regained New
okay.
York, renaming it New Orange, and it's like super
short.
short.
For a year and a half.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But then after that, then England all the way.
Yeah, then England took it over. Oh, here's something interesting I found out. Okay, so basically in the beginning of days, to get to Manhattan, you would anchor your ship in the East River, jump on a rowboat, head over in the rowboat to the land, and the first place you would encounter on the rowboat was the beer hall.
Okay.
The New York or New Amsterdam beer hall. It got so popular that once it got its certification, what's the word I'm looking for? Once it got its charter, something with an M is what I'm looking for.
M?
Yeah, something with an M.
Wait, you're talking about the beer hall?
Yeah. It became, that's Town Hall.
Oh,
now.
Okay.
So that's why Town Hall's there, is because they used to row their boats all the way up to there. That used to be the beer hall everyone just met at.
Very cool.
So it got it's going to piss me off. It's somewhere in the notes here.
You're looking for a word that makes it like official or something? Or
yeah. Why did I do that? That's stupid. I just put M in. Okay, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, basically, so yeah, Town Hall was just a beer garden or a beer hall, and then you just built it up from there.
Yeah, and also that gets to like the general thing, which is like Manhattan downtown was where it all started.
Downtown's where it all started.
Especially if you're talking about like Revolutionary period and all that stuff. I mean, it's like I mean, you go on like a walking tour or whatever of that area. It's everything. Colonial history and obviously more modern stuff. It's just like, and then it expanded north and expanded to the other boroughs and everything. But
I lived down there for 6 years, as you know.
You lived in the fucking where Washington was inaugurated.
That's true. I lived right over there.
Yeah.
So I found out so much about that area. You know why Water Street's called Water Street?
No.
It's going to be pretty obvious. That's where the waters started. Yeah. So everything from Water Street on and Fidei is man-made.
Right. Okay.
So, and then Pearl Street is called Pearl Street because that's where a bunch of oysters used to be. That's why it's called Pearl Street.
Nice.
Wall Street. You know why it's called Wall Street?
Yes. Star point guard John Wall was actually born in the.
That's right.
Please cut that out.
John Wall.
Please cut
well, it's
that
definitely
out.
not going to be the clip.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be a clip of blackmail. Yeah. But Wall Street, there was literally a wall, right? That was.
Yeah, so that was basically like the Dutch being like, all right, this is us.
Yeah.
The natives live outside of this. They put a physical wall there.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called Wall Street.
It's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff that just makes sense.
Right. What are the other streets down there? I mean, it's fucking hell to navigate around there. When I went over to your place a couple times, I got lost immediately.
Well, yeah. I got lost and I lived there for 6 years.
Yeah.
Broad Street, that's where a bunch of prostitutes used to be.
Is that actually true?
No.
Okay.
Not true at all.
Yeah.
Stone Street, stones make up the street.
Mm-hmm.
That one's pretty obvious. Also, the oldest street.
You said that kind of aggressively to me. Oh, it's pretty obvious. You dumb fuck.
You dumb Jew.
All right.
No, but that is the oldest street in New York.
Oh,
Stone
okay.
Street. The oldest functioning street, I should say.
So let me ask you this. So
Fill me in.
New York City.
Mm-hmm.
You're from Long Island.
Yes.
But you lived in New York pretty much since college. Is that right?
Essentially.
Best city in the world?
Well, yeah, but I'm biased because I'm from here.
Are you like a New York? How about country? Let's go country because I haven't been to enough cities in the world to make that. But country, I feel like I've been to a good amount. Is it the best? It's the best.
Is New York the best country?
No, best city in the country. Sorry.
Oh, best city in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is also like, it's not fair for us to say because not only did we grow up here and we're I don't think, especially you grew up here.
Yeah.
Where like my dad's NYPD, his dad was New York Postal Service.
Yeah.
A lot of like New York ingrained. I don't think we could survive anywhere else.
I mean, I lived in Chicago, and I'll say that Chicago is obviously more, I don't know, low key, whatever, than New York City. I mean, it's very much a bustling city. It's what the third biggest in the country or whatever.
Right.
But Chicago was definitely busy enough, had enough stuff that even being born in New York, I wasn't like, oh, I'm bored here or anything like that. Like Chicago was great. But I definitely think that like I couldn't live in any spread out city, an LA type thing, or like a California or Texas type city.
No,
Maybe
couldn't
not.
live. But like, and this is
I mean more like a Houston, Dallas. Yeah.
never been to Houston or Dallas. But I'm trying to work on it on stage too. Like when I went to Austin, everyone's like, "Oh, what an unbelievable city."
Oh, it's nothing. Yeah.
Right, it's just not a city.
Yeah, it's just nothing. Yeah. It's nice. The capital is nice.
It's right. I get the appeal.
Campus. Yeah.
That's why I say it's a
UT
great
campus.
place to go if you've never been somewhere
haven't.
before. Because and that's not to say like
It's not an insult.
it's not an insult.
Yeah.
But like if you grew up here, like I'm sure if you grew up in Chicago, New York, maybe that's about it. Like there's nothing really going on there. It's just
Right.
more than the average place.
Yeah, this might be contradicting my other point, but like what I like in a city if I'm visiting it, maybe not living, but visiting it, is that it's different from New York as opposed to a mini version of New York.
Yes.
So that actually, I mean, I don't really like LA, so that maybe that's not a good. But if you go to like Paris,
Yeah, you lost me.
it's
I've never been to
like,
LA either, so.
you gotta go. Yeah,
You gotta
you
go.
gotta check it out. Wait, I won't go Paris. Maybe like what's a city that's like very different from New York? I was gonna say San Francisco, but that's actually kind of similar in a lot of ways.
I went to Nashville recently.
Nashville's pretty good.
It was fun, but it was good for I went for 4 days.
Yeah,
Great.
that's
Like
most
the
places.
perfect. Yes,
most places.
That's most places. Like, and question for you. So you lived in Chicago, but could you live in Chicago?
I always knew I was gonna come back to New York.
That's the thing.
Always.
So you could live anywhere for 2-3 years, knowing you'll be back.
Right. And of course your point at the beginning is totally right. Right. I mean, if someone's listening to this and they're not from New York is a 3 to 4 day trip, and that's I've had enough type thing.
Right.
Which I get. The thing about okay, so the reason why I am a bit of a New York snob or whatever is that it's just there's somewhere or something. It's got so much stuff in a relatively small amount of space that there's bound to be some neighborhood, some general area that you love. It just got like I can't imagine that you hate all of it. I feel like if someone says they hate New York, they just haven't been to the spot in New York that they actually want to be in.
It's because they went to Times Square and they're like,
they went to Times Square.
The worst.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
we all agree.
We don't
that's
like that.
The worst.
Yeah, but maybe they would like a more like laid back neighborhood of Queens or whatever, like whatever.
Or Barry Greengrass.
They would, they would love Barney. Greengrass. Yeah, have a little fucking respect.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'll like at least some area of the thing.
And this, we're getting into a tangent here, and I had made this point with Dylan Krause because Dylan Krause was making fun of me, and a big point with my ex was about traveling. Okay. Like, why would I personally don't understand the point of traveling?
I think that might partly be because we do something where traveling's ingrained in it.
Yes, but I also think it's because we're from an area. The world comes to us. Mm-hmm. Everyone else has to go to the world. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. If I lived in Columbus, Ohio, I understand why you're like, I want to go to Rome. I want to go to Paris.
Right.
Here, the number one gelato spot in the world is in Rome. The second best gelato spot in the world is 2 blocks away from this apartment.
Anita's is great. Yeah.
So, okay, I can't go to the best. I can only go to the second best.
Yeah, food is a really good measurement of that. I agree. Because there's no cuisine you're not going to get in New York. And if you go to the right place, at the highest quality.
Right.
And yeah, you're right.
I don't appreciate art or architecture enough to justify... If I went to Paris...
What about natural beauty?
Even less.
Okay.
The only thing I respect less than architecture is natural beauty.
Sure. I actually prefer architecture over natural beauty. Like, if you look at some, like, insane building, it's like, whoa, people are capable of that. But natural beauty is just like...
I mean, people say when you see the pyramids, your breath is taken away. But I feel like if I saw the pyramids, I generally would be like, what's for lunch?
Yeah.
Like, I just wouldn't care. I don't get, like, you still love the Statue of Liberty. I saw it every day, living in Friday for 6 years. I couldn't give less of a fuck.
But maybe that's why, though. Because
if I saw the Eiffel Tower, I'd be like, sick. What's next?
Is there anything that brings you any joy? Is there one? Is there one monument? Is there one thing that you think you would actually be blown away by? What if you saw the fucking Aurora Borealis? The nights, the lights in the sky.
How about whenever I see a Cheesecake Factory, I get pretty happy.
Well, that's given. Yeah. I mean, the portions.
That menu. It's still the biggest menu in the world.
All right, fair enough. What about animals? What about if you see like penguins in Antarctica? Would that do it for you?
You know what? My buddy just says he's coming back now. He did his honeymoon in Africa.
Okay.
And he sent pictures. I was like, all right.
That's something, right?
You know what I genuinely thought was pretty cool? He pushed a plane out of the mud in Kenya, jumped on the plane, they flew away.
What?
Like those type of
escaping something?
He is a Jew.
Fucking Indiana Jones is your friend.
Yeah, he had the crystal skull on him, and he jumped into the plane and flew away.
How it is.
Yeah, you know how Kenya is.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I wasn't saying Kenya. I was saying I'm excited for my honeymoon. This is gonna be fucking. I'm gonna get a little short round to come around with me everywhere I go.
The plane was working fine, but then they found out his last name was Lebowitz, and they were like, "Go, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Get on the plane." A lot of Jew jokes in this pod.
I think I just bring it out in you for some reason. I say that, and then I listen to your episode with fucking Tobin. It's all Jew jokes.
It's just making fun of you and how much of a Jew you are.
What the hell?
Fuck was this?
The Apple Hour is just all.
It's all anti-Semitic Ben Kirschenbaum jokes.
And it's not doing better.
It's getting great. So many views.
Jesus.
What was I gonna say? Animals is closer, but then again, like I'll just go to a zoo. You know,
Yeah.
I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it.
I don't disagree with you. And maybe when I said the Statue of Liberty thing, maybe I don't actually get like chills. It just, I don't know. You know what? I take that back. Statue of Liberty, for some reason, for me, is one of those things. And don't get me wrong. I mean, like, when people come over in Ellis Island and it's like this amazing symbol of liberty and hope, I mean,
Yes.
then they actually come here and maybe they're fucked. I don't, it depends. I guess
Okay.
a lot of different stories. But just as a symbol, it's, it's like it's a nice thing.
What actually, something, but this is how I know I can never leave New York. What genuinely brings me comfort and happiness is when you're on the BQE coming back from the airport and you see the skyline right in front of you.
Come on.
And you're like, thank Christ I'm back.
And you put New York State of Mind on your on your iPhone and just
I put it with no AirPods on. I just play it in the car.
Oh, I thought on the bus.
I am on the bus.
You're just blasting.
They go, turn it off. I'm like, this is the piano, man. Respect them, Long Island guy.
Yes. Yeah. I wish that you could talk about Billy Joel on my podcast. The rule is dead, though. The rule is dead.
Well, he'll be dead soon. God hopes. One day.
Just gonna fucking collapse on the piano at MSG.
The day he does it is the day you're getting a text. I'll tell you that
Absolutely.
much.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a guarantee. Oh, yeah. You are coming on my pod to do Billy Joel the moment that guy dies.
We should do the pod at the wake.
I would love to do that.
I'll figure it out. I know where his house is. He lives in my town.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought he was just like, I didn't know he was
you see him
literally
all the
your
time.
town.
Oh, yeah.
You see him up close?
Yeah. He's
Wow.
a dick.
What?
Yeah. He's a huge dick.
Really?
The whole town hates him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my dad's friend or his friend's friend. I don't remember which one, but he has a story. We'll end on this.
Yeah,
On our new Amsterdam podcast, we'll end about a story about Billy Joel because that's how
Appropriate.
Long Island I am.
Yeah.
So there's a tavern in Oyster Bay, and upstairs is apparently where Billy Joel used to write his piano, practice piano was there. So one day, apparently the bar was a little loud. He comes downstairs and goes, "Can you guys shut the fuck up? I'm trying to write a fucking song up here."
Okay.
And my dad's buddy or his buddy's buddy said, "Who the fuck are you?" He's like, "You don't know who I am?
Yeah.
I'm Billy fucking Joel. You fucking serious?" And apparently he just got into a kerfuffle.
And then Billy Joel went upstairs and wrote Captain Jack. Or is that? I thought you were going to end it with like, then he wrote.
No,
fuck
I
it.
mean, maybe he wrote something. I don't know. They were too drunk to even hear him. Maybe he wrote Piano Man.
I mean, it is.
This is a pretty bad story.
It's not that it's a bad story. It's that, like, if you're that big of I'll say musical genius. Is that fair?
I'm from like the only Long Island family that doesn't like Billy Joel.
Doesn't like him at all?
Hates him.
I mean, he's written some catchy music. Will they give me that he's written some catchy
He's
music?
written some catchy music. My
Okay.
family's not a big New York music. Besides Kiss.
Oh, maybe Back in the New York Groove. Maybe that instead of New York Mind. New York State of Mind.
Okay.
That's
New
Ace
York Groove
Frehley.
is actually my jam.
No, it's amazing.
Like my walk-up song for a show.
yeah.
New York Groove.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah.
Uh,
The only other thing I was going to say.
fill me in.
Yeah, so forget about musical genius. I take that back. I'm sorry. Musical guy. He is writing, Like, I mean, he's a prolific writer. I mean,
Right.
Doesn't he have a right to be a little bit of a dick? No?
yeah, you're too much of an artist.
I don't think that's the problem.
Yeah. People don't give a fuck. They're like, you sing, you fucking Democrat.
Yeah. I don't know.
They already don't respect him because of that.
Favorite Billy Joel song? You got one? Or do you not like him? Or are you with your family?
Favorite Billy Joel song. You know what I said the other day, and I got a lot of shit for it. It's not my favorite, but I like it.
Yeah.
Allentown.
Great. And
It's a great song.
I recently performed in Allentown, and it like pumps you up while you play it on repeat as you go.
Ooh.
Yeah. And we're living here in Allentown.
Right.
Have you ever watched?
The Russian concert.
No, that's great too, though. When he won the Kennedy Center honors, and when they get the big medal that musicians they get a bunch of famous musicians to do versions of
Yes.
their songs. So Billy Joel's, I think they play Allentown at some point. I can't remember which other ones, except for Garth Brooks, who I've never really listened to his music.
Yeah.
Comes on at the end and sings "Good Night Saigon," which is about the Vietnam War.
Yep.
And he's like singing it. He's doing a really good version of it. And then for the point at the end where they're all like sort of singing along, they have like a row of war veterans singing the song in the background. That's chilling. That's better than the Statue of Liberty by far.
Okay.
You got to check this out.
I thought you were going to say they have a bunch of Asian people just standing.
It was amazing.
And everyone gives them the finger or something.
It was unbelievable. And then you got Bush in the front chair being like, what the fuck? Yeah. I recommend that if you're into
Something
the
like
sentimental
that.
Billy Joel stuff.
Like, I would travel for a good show. I wouldn't go that far. Like, that's my thing. I pay a lot of money for a good show more than I'd pay to go travel. I would prioritize that.
What kind of show?
Concert, sporting events.
Yeah,
Or I guess entertainment in general.
Yeah,
I'll say.
not stand-up.
No, I would not travel for stand-up.
I wouldn't watch it in my room.
Yeah. People offer to pay me and I won't travel to certain places. So, no.
All right.
That's all I did. Peter Stuyvesant, great guy. They got thick latkes at Barry Greengrass.
Yeah. Barney.
Fuck. I still got to go. Russ and Daughters.
Yeah.
I got to go there too. Just locks there.
Russ and Daughters and more fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sturgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Folks, it's been gay.